Hey guys, Ben here. I'm doing this update video just to let you know that videos are being worked on. I am working on new content right now. Specifically, Matt is actually getting very close to finishing next video here, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. And uh, in terms of like what the video will be about, specifically, it'll be about.
When are you making a Baku Baku review?
Baku Baku Animal! My own demons won't let me forget it, so I must curse you with the knowledge too. This is a Tetris-style puzzle game developed by Sega in 1995. And when I say Tetris-style, I mean the specific subset of following block-based games that series like Puyo Puyo reside in. This game was released first in arcades, being a surprisingly resilient one in how it took until 2017 for it to be removed from most Sega arcades in Japan. A year later, it got a Sega Saturn release, a PC port, and a much different version for Game Gear. I played the Saturn version for the video, but I want to return to the Game Gear version as well, in order to judge how different it is. I did grow up with this version too, so I might as well. The game starts off with a pre-rendered opening, where we get to see the very unique style of this game right off the bat. It's charmingly old school in how it uses simple geometry to create character designs that are both cartoony and appealing, aside from the animals that are kinda just freaky. You might have seen one in the box art already. Oh Jesus. One fun fact is that the two playable characters here are named Polly and Gon. I wonder what that could mean! So the story is that this king guy here decides to hold a contest to see who is worthy of becoming the royal zookeeper, because the princess keeps getting new pets and can't take care of them to save her life. So obviously we can't just hire a professional, we have to make them all fight for the right for this job. Man, imagine people needing to compete to become employed. That is weirdly dystopian, and now I'm even more terrified of this game. So let's move right along to the gameplay. Baku Baku Animal looks pretty simple on the surface, and in practice, it is simple. You drop these blocks that consist of either food blocks or animal blocks. There's food and animal blocks that correspond to each other and have matching colors. So if you place them next to each other, they immediately eat up the food like it's their last meal before the slaughter. Despite this being a simple concept, it really shows its depth from the combo system implemented, which is very similar to Puyo Puyo. If you activate an animal block on some food blocks, and make another animal block fall next to their corresponding food type, you get a combo. This is on top of specific behavior, like certain placements activating multiple animal blocks at once, and the rare coin item that allows you to delete every instance of whatever two blocks they land on. This creates a system that is simple, yet a chaotic mess to manage and find the right placements to get the best combos. And like in Puyo Puyo, opponents are able to use combos to send more blocks to you and make it hard to strategize. It will certainly lead to you getting some satisfying wins and crushing losses, but for the most part, it'll likely be more on the loss side because of the issues the game has in its controls. See, I enjoy the mechanics on their own, but what I don't like is how simply moving your blocks and rotating them feels sluggish. You need a very solid and snappy speed of inputs to do well in these sort of games, and sadly Baku Baku Animal kinda fails at this. There's so much animation smoothing here that just isn't good for a puzzle game like this. If, for instance, I want to move my blocks further to the side, rapidly pressing the D-pad makes them often move slower or less responsive than I'd like, but if I dare hold down a direction, I move too fast and overshoot where I want to place them. You'll see that in most harder matches where you'll be desperate to move your blocks to a specific point with little room for error, only to go too far and make a bad placement. Also, if you know anything about Tetris and Puyo Puyo, you know they possess a mechanic to let you keep rotating your blocks even if you're super close to the surface. It's basically a grace period to let you think for a few more seconds and more easily make a comeback if you're in trouble. Baku Baku Animal doesn't have this at all. You have to know where you're going to place the next blocks practically before you've even started controlling them. It's ridiculous. It makes the later opponents way too difficult to take on. Even a normal CPU difficulty is on fucking steroids. Like yeah, I couldn't even beat this minister guy on normal difficulty, and it did not feel like it was my fault, especially when I just had no room to even do anything at all for most matches. And well, This was when I moved on to the Game Gear version, so I could evaluate it as well, and what I found was it might be the better version, surprisingly. While it keeps the same characters and general look, it does add something the original game didn't have. Before every match, you get a cutscene showing an interaction between Polly and whatever opponent you're fighting, which includes special quotes if you win or lose. This adds way more character to the game than it already had, and it reminded me greatly of the banter you'd see in the Puyo Puyo games. And while the Game Gear version lacks many options the console version had, like the ranking mode, CPU difficulty, and specific block settings, it makes up for that by just feeling better to play. Controls are snappy and precise, with every single press of the D-pad now moving you instead of feeling like you need to wait for the game to make a move before you can do anything yourself. And while not perfect, the way things feel now when you're closer to the top of the screen is more forgiving and could save you more than prior. It's not perfect, but it does certainly work better. I was able to get the ending this time too, which wasn't without many attempts, but they're both pretty fun in their own ways. I should also mention the music is solid for what it is, and the Saturn version has an option to let you switch between the arcade and console arrangements, since they do differ a bit. Really nice option there. Overall, it would have definitely been cool to see more evolution to this concept, but I get the feeling the devs here did all they wanted to, and were satisfied with their end product. Besides, there was another puzzle game that actually did fall up on the design scene here. That game is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Jesus, what a name. It doesn't use any animal theming, but the concept is the same, with matching colors to an activator block of the same color. You just get more of a Street Fighter flavor from this one. Still, even with his hiccups, I did still enjoy returning to this childhood favorite of mine, and hopefully I don't get too sidetracked for my next update video. Well, see ya. I guess I'm gonna go do something else. Oh, and the next video is on Sly Cooper. Now get the fuck out.